Have you ever had those moments where you're just overwhelmed by anxiety or fear or worry? Those just pangs just come, and maybe you felt it. I felt it the other morning, Sunday, when we had our stream going for our worship service, and about a third of the way in, it just stopped working and repeated and did it again and again. I think we broke Facebook because we had so many people, so many churches that were streaming at the same time. And I was just overwhelmed by anxiety, and I couldn't do anything, and you can't even think straight. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to say. And I think we have that. Some of you have been having that recently. Maybe some of you are having that right now. Maybe you're feeling it because you went to get some food from the store and there wasn't what you were looking for. The toilet paper was gone and you're wondering, how can I make it through this week? Or financially, I just lost my job. How do I deal with this? How do I get over this? Maybe someone you know is sick. Maybe you're sick right now and you're just overwhelmed by fear. So when that overwhelming sense comes, what do? Psalm 131 is all about that feeling. And it was actually a psalm written by King David, and there's so much we can learn from him. The great Prince of Preachers, Charles Spurgeon, said of this psalm that it's one of the shortest psalms to read, but one of the longest psalms to learn. It says, it's just 3 verses, and it says in verse 1, "My heart is not proud, Lord. My eyes are not haughty. I do not concern myself with great matters or things too wonderful for me." What David is saying is that there are some things that we can't figure out. We don't know the future. We don't know how things work out. We don't understand why things are the way they are. And we have to learn to just be okay with that, to let go of those things, to trust our Father in heaven. He goes on in verse 2 to say, "But I have calmed and quieted myself." Ooh, I think we need to learn how to do that, to calm and quiet ourselves. Sometimes we get busy and we get on social media or we get something digital, or we turn on Netflix. We're always trying to distract ourselves. But he says, no, we've got to learn to calm and quiet ourselves. And then he says this, "I am like a weaned child with its mother. Like a weaned child, I am content." I love that. I'm like a weaned child with its mother. Like a weaned child, I am content. For a long time, I didn't notice that there was the emphasis on weaned child, but it says it twice. So what's a weaned child? Well, I can tell you what a weaned child is not, because right now the twins are sleeping. And in fact, you can see them right here. They just went to sleep, and you can see them here on this camera that we have them on this monitor. We can watch them. And they're asleep right now. They're quiet. But in a few hours, do you know what they're going to be doing? Because I can tell you, if you've had one baby, let alone 2 babies, you know what they do. They scream because they're what? Hungry. They want to eat. And whenever they feel those hunger pangs, they scream out, they cry out, they want their mother. I need help, I need help, I need help. They don't even know what to do. They're screaming, they're crying, they're thrashing about. That's what a child does when they're not weaned. But when a child is weaned, that means they've been weaned off their mother's milk, that they've learned to eat on their own. And a weaned child doesn't scream out in the same way. A weaned child, as they grow older, they learn that food is coming because they can trust their parents. They're not like a baby that just knows, hungry. Ah! But sometimes we're like those infants that haven't been weaned yet. And whenever we get that overwhelming feeling, we cry out, we're in anguish, we're just screaming and thrashing about. That's how we feel emotionally and spiritually. But what David is telling us is we need to learn to calm and quiet ourselves so that we too can be like a weaned child who is content. Why is that? Because we have a Father in heaven, a spiritual parent who cares for us and loves us and will provide for us. See, a weaned child knows that there's a parent that's going to provide the next meal, even when they're hungry. And we need to learn the same thing. Our Father in heaven, our Dad in heaven, knows what we need, and He will provide it. He will provide it. So I want to encourage you, I want to challenge you to calm yourself to childlike trust. Calm yourself to childlike trust. When you're feeling those moments of anxiety, calm yourself, quiet yourself, and realize, like a child, we can trust our Father in heaven to take care of us, to provide for our needs, to love us and care for us. That's why we hear the refrain that we've heard again and again in these Psalms of Ascent, verse 3, Israel, put your hope in the Lord, both now and forevermore. Calm yourself to childlike trust. trust.